Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin' Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Holloway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros Fake News, everybody. Bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. Got some real news here to start off with. We're in Illinois today. I know it looks like we're in the studio, but we're in Illinois today because Hard AF Seltzer is now live in Illinois. We got the 16 ounces there of orange that have just hit the stores. We're currently located at Liquorland in Champaign off of Green Street, Spectra Food Memorial on Champaign Streets. No, that's First Street. I'm sorry. It's in Champaign. Illini Pantry, Campus Pantry, all in Champaign. Champaign Food and Liquor, Brass Rail and Champaign, Main Street Liquors in Peoria, where I was born, Super Savor Liquors in Peoria, Laramie Street Liquors in Peoria, Friar Tuck Beverage in Peoria, Big Hollow Convenient Liquors in Peoria, Illinois, and last but not least, Hollywood Liquors in Champaign. And if you're looking at the map here, this is where the tailgate is tonight, right next to the stadium at Grange Grove, right outside the stadium, spot number 87. Come see us. We're doing a live show. We got free booze. We got free merch, all the fun stuff, and then we'll see who blacks out. Joel's going to be there to film it. I believe Street Gonzo will be there as well, so if somebody blacks out on their watch, good luck. You might end up in a Street Gonzo episode. D'Anthony.
Or you might end up with a man inside you.
Good. One or the other is going to happen.
Or both.
16 ounces.
Yeah, 16 ounces of semen is a lot, dude.
A lot of semen, a lot of Hard AF Seltzer.
It doesn't sound like that, but once it's inside you,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It fills up fast.
You'll feel pressure.
That's a full pound. It's a full pound of semen. Right?
Yeah.
16 ounces? Thank God.
It's a full pound. Yeah.
Thank God. Okay. Just making sure. You know.
I just wanted to cast some doubt on you before we get started.
I helped my 10-year-old with his math problems last night, and he questioned me like midway through the homework assignment, and I was like, "Do I know this?" I had to sneak off to the bathroom and use my calculator, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I knew it." Okay, thank God. But you two make me feel like dum-dums up here. Jesus Christ. Speaking of dum-dums, top story here: Kamala Harris finally agrees to an interview, but there's a caveat to that. Not without her chaperone, Vice President potential Tim Walz will join her on stage in Kamala Harris's first sit-down interview as the Democratic nominee, which will be now a joint interview on CNN after weeks and weeks and weeks of avoiding the press. And the beauty of this is Dana Bash is doing it on CNN, and it's also going to be pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Because they simply do not trust her to speak on her own. People are raging about this right now all over social media. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. One, I don't get the polls. I don't get the hype. It's the party of joy and all this other shit. Explain to me joy. Every time I check out of the supermarket, tell me what joy there is in my wallet. That's all I give a fuck about.
Oh, no, they're just happy people.
Okay.
And despite the fact that all Americans are struggling, they're happy. So you should be happy.
I guess.
Dear leader is happy. Why aren't you? Why don't you have the same haircut as Kim Jong-un? You know what I mean?
I don't get it. I don't understand any of this. With Biden, I understood. We'll go back to 2019 and Basement Joe and all that stuff. It all made sense. He was a fucking 1,000 years old. We heard he had dementia then. Apparently the media didn't figure it out until the debates, but we've been talking about it for 4 fucking years here on that show. I know why that motherfucker didn't do one interview, come out of his house, anything. We haven't seen him in weeks. This makes absolutely zero sense.
No, I know it does. You've heard her speak before.
But I mean, how long can you hide this from the public and expect that we're just going to do the same thing we did in 2020,
I guess, yeah. But it's not working. Even the polling that they keep talking about, nationally, she's up 1.5%. Now, if you know anything about the way the electoral...
1.5% over Trump?
Yes.
Okay.
If you know how the Electoral College works, that's not enough for the Democrat to win, typically. It depends on the state and how the distribution works. But right now, it's a toss-up in Pennsylvania. He's leading Arizona and Nevada, which the winner of Nevada and Ohio, those 2 states, wins every time, without fail. And he's leading in both of those. I think he's up 7. I mean, Ohio's locked.
Well, Trump got Ohio in 2020 and didn't win.
Yeah, he's up. He got Ohio, but not Nevada.
Right.
Nevada, he's up 7 right now. And to only be up 1.5 after your own convention, the week after your own convention, is fucking terrible. And now she's going to go into this debate. It's like there's no way they can win this.
So here's what I don't understand about this interview in particular, and this is heading into the debate, because we're 13 days away from the debate.
Well, they're using this to lay the groundwork for the stuff they want to talk about in the debate. That's why this interview is happening.
Which is fine, but you should be doing it on your own, because you're going to be left alone on that stage for 90 minutes.
Well, no,
Tim Walz can't come up and hold your hand through the fucking thing.
But they're trying to have that happen, right? Because she's now bickering over the rules of the debate. They want it to be seated for some reason.
Forgive me, I don't know what that means.
They want the 2 candidates to be sitting down. That's what the Harris campaign has asked for.
Why?
They've also asked for her to be able to bring notes.
Okay, why?
Because she doesn't know anything. They want the mics turned on. We know why. Because they want to get a viral moment of Trump interrupting her.
That I understand.
So she can say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, oh, well, excuse me, and slur all over the place. But they've literally asked that she has a fucking prep book, that she has notes.
Okay.
That's not how a debate works.
No.
Honey, I'm sorry.
Usually you get a pad of paper, a pen.
Yeah, you can take notes during the thing, but you've got to actually remember stuff. You have to understand your own policies well enough to just say them out loud in front of a group of people. And if you can't, then you can't do it in a meeting with NATO or a meeting with Putin or a meeting with Kim Jong-un or a meeting with fucking Xi Jinping. So you can't be president, you stupid bitch. Damn, dude. It's a tryout for president. That's what the debate is.
Yeah.
That's the job. You don't get to flip through your fucking binder when you're in a fucking tense negotiation with another foreign leader. You stupid bitch.
That's
unbelievable.
What the
fuck are you talking about, man?
So this part I have not heard yet.
Yeah, that's going on right now.
Now that makes sense that she would want that. They're not going to allow that, right?
It's ABC. I mean, so it isn't just a matter of ABC. It's a matter of Trump agreeing to it, and he won't.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Now what's with the seated thing? Why does she want to be seated?
I don't know. I sincerely.
He's the one who's 78 years old. Like, you would think if anybody were to ask to be seated, it'd be Trump, but he never sits.
Well, if you recall, you can see it. We played the video of it earlier this week during the debate between her and Pence before they were seated.
Yeah, well,
seated and behind plexiglass, which that was the whole gay COVID stuff.
It was the COVID stuff. But I will say this, going back to vice presidential debates,
Cheney was seated too.
Yeah. I always...
Ryan, I think, was seated.
They were. So like all through growing up, because I actually watch all the debates and all this shit, I can't remember a VP debate that wasn't seated just because...
Stockdale and fucking Gore was not.
I wasn't born.
One of the Biden VP debates was not seated as well, which I only specifically remember from the 30 Rock clip where they superimposed Tracy Jordan into that clip. And then there was one presidential debate that I remember off the top of my head that was quasi-seated, the 3-way between Clinton, Perot, and Bush.
And no, it was Dole. Because remember, Dole fell off the back of the fucking stage afterwards. Or was that a press conference?
I think it was a press conference because Dole and they were like sitting down and would start speaking, sitting down, but could get up and do like it was a little bit of a town hall situation. Yeah. But they did all three have seats.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they would request that. Maybe it's because Trump likes to be standing. Maybe they read some research that he has bad posture when he sits, and that's going to affect his delivery. Who knows, man? It's an odd request, though.
It is. I've never seen Trump seated. That's the only thing. I think.
Well, for that black
journalist thing, but that was more of a sit-down interview versus debating to be the leader of the free fucking world. Because typically you have to stand for that too.
Yeah.
When you give all these speeches.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to wheel you out on the tarmac.
Unless you're FDR.
In a lazy
right?
boy. Well, he had a different story.
But even
he
FDR.
He got attacked by werewolves who gave him polio.
They propped him up for the first 2 terms.
Yeah.
They just put leg braces on him and put him behind a fucking podium.
They gumped him.
Yeah, they gumped him up. Now, Kamala's I don't know who's. It's Dana Bash doing the interview, so I wouldn't expect any high and tight fastballs or anything. But I don't know that it's going to be softballs either, because CNN has not been. I mean, it's still CNN, but they've been more willing lately to ask tough questions. So we'll see.
No. If it's pre-recorded, no. Now, now, the Stephanopoulos one, he did start to grill Biden a little bit. But if it was live, there's nowhere to go. And then you could just let her flounder.
I think you've got to make a decision now, as both a network and as a alleged journalist. Whatever. There's no such thing as real journalism anymore, but let's use the word just because that's the word they use. You've got to start making decisions soon if you're gonna go down with a sinking ship. This whole leftist propaganda apparatus is failing. The fact that she's only allegedly at 1.5 after her own convention like this is the best demonstration you can get of that. She's losing in Nevada and in Arizona, 2 states she really needs to win. And it's a pick'em in Pennsylvania, despite them holding their convention there, them holding rallies there after rallies there and having a really popular governor stump for him, right? Still a pick'em there. She's in big trouble. This ship is sinking. Zuckerberg's coming out talking about how they fucking forced him to blah, blah, blah. Do you want to be the last fucking journalist lying on camera and supporting these assholes, especially Kamala Harris, whose political career is over after this year? I don't know.
Yeah, to me, again, it's just so fucking bizarre.
I don't put anything past these people. They're shitbags. They've been lying to you. The pandemic of the unvaccinated. Remember that one? A winter of extreme illness and death. Yeah. Right? Hunter Biden, Russia collusion. These people are horrible people. I'm not supporting them. I trust people to be themselves. And these people they have no political principles whatsoever. The only principle they have is survival. And it's hard for me to believe that this late in the game that they're going to continue playing the game. They're going to continue pretending that the fucking the ship's not going to sink after it's already hit the iceberg. You know what I mean? Like the Titanic. Oh no, it's the Titanic. It's not going down as water is up to your eyeballs. All right, what time? When are you going to finally jump off of this ship? And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if it was this time. If she just hammers them, not directly, but just leads her down a path to a question she can't answer.
Yeah, and with Dana Bash, infamously, this clip's going around. Bob, I'm going to send it to you right now if you want to play it. Her husband was actually one of the lawyers on this team that said that the Hunter Biden laptop wasn't real.
Yeah.
And all that other stuff. Play this clip of her talking about it. This is the woman who will be interviewing Kamala Harris tomorrow. Go ahead and play it.
Not about 2020. I'm saying even if Joe Biden were not running for president, if he were still a private citizen going off into the sunset, would it be okay for the president of the United States, yes or no, to ask another foreign leader to investigate an American citizen?
That sounds like a very oversimplified presentation of what is happening here. What is happening here is the president of the United States says people are talking about this prosecutor and how they stopped him. Excuse me, in this investigation. We have Joe Biden bragging on tape in January 2018, Dana, saying, and I said I'd be on the ground 90 more minutes, and if you don't believe me, call Barack.
There's no evidence. for the record, there is no evidence that Joe or Hunter Biden did anything wrong. Let's move on. Let's move on to the quote.
Donald Trump did anything wrong, so let's go there.
I'm not saying he did. I'm asking you that very question.
Why are we about to have public hearings?
Okay, so let's talk about that.
President rather than voting on.
It's not about 2020. I'm saying.
Okay, press pause there. So, like, again, still spewing the same things that this doesn't exist. There's no evidence for it. Everything else, there was. And her husband worked on the fucking thing. I think it was the New York Post that published his picture back in 2019, 2020 during this election. Was a ton of lawyers like surrounded on the cover, and her husband's one of them. She's the one that's doing this sit-down interview with them. So, no, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything having her on there and saying, hey, we're going to have an honest sit-down. I'm really going to grill you on the policies and everything else. And then what the fuck is he going to do?
Who's he?
Walz. What does he do during that entire interview but just sit there like a gimp?
Jazz hands, which is what he usually does. He does jazz hands, but this is a sincere question, and I'm going to ask liberal people this. And when I say liberal people, I obviously mean Bob, right? So, but for real, you two guys who are more or less apolitical to some degree, or at least nonpartisan to some degree, how does it look to you that the woman running for president is getting asked a question and has to defer to the dude to answer it? Like, if he keeps jumping in and answering questions that she doesn't have an answer to, or putting his hand on her arm when she starts to talk, right?
Yeah, how does that work?
Or something. I mean, I'm just imagining how this is going to go. And that's not going to be great. But from two like liberal cucks, how do you guys feel?
Getting back to the values this country was built on.
Man for permission.
Yeah, and now that answer I like. Okay,
how
you got to ask that man for permission.
How funny would it be if she just like progressively through the interview got more and more pieces of a burqa on, and then all of a sudden she's 15 feet behind him in a separate chair?
Yeah.
When we were house shopping for new builds a couple years ago, that happened to me and Courtney. Like, I don't know fucking anything about like the stuff in the house. You know what I mean? Like what floors we want or what fucking type, blah blah blah. Like, and I don't care as long as it doesn't look like shit. And Courtney kept asking these questions, and then the sales guy would hear her question and then turn to me and go, "Now, Rob, that's a great question, and here's what's going," and would like only address me. And I was like, I like the cut of that guy's jib. I think we should buy from Taylor Morrison.
Yeah. So if he backhands her during the interview or rips her arm the same way he did his sons on stage after the DNC speech for Kamala, then I'm all in. If that's what they're running on, and maybe they change the campaign slogan. Behind every great woman is a really fucking good dude who's going to take over and actually do shit. If that's the campaign slogan, I'm all in. But what the fuck is that going to look like optic-wise on television? I always try to think about it from like a Hollywood perspective. Yeah, you're going to have two chairs side by side unless you're going to sit around a round table and he's going to sit on another chair, I guess. Like, what is this?
I don't know. Maybe it's like that scene from Star Wars where Luke looks to Han, who looks to Leia for their little plan to kill Jabba the Hutt. You know what I mean? It's like, she looks at him every time to get permission to say. I mean, honestly, the only way I can really, like in my head, picture this going is she gets asked a question about policy and doesn't know the answer because she doesn't know anything, right?
Right.
So she has to defer to him. Like, what's the fucking point of him being there?
From what I've read, I haven't really watched him speak or anything, but from what I've read, whether or not you agree with anything he does, he's pretty articulate on kind of wonky political stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure,
he's not running for president.
He's not running for president, and he'll have his.
I'm just saying.
He'll have his own
that's what
debate.
he's there for, right? Like
It's not. Nobody's ever done it in the history like this.
I'm telling you, I'm just putting you their thought processes.
But just say she's fucking too stupid to answer her own questions. Therefore, she actually needs someone who has some government experience to give the public an answer for the Democratic Party. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever with these two dummies. And if he starts talking over her, then shit's going to get wild. Now, obviously, it's pre-recorded, so they could edit out whatever the fuck they want to edit it out to put it out to the world. But if he starts answering policy questions for her, because he has his own debate on his own against J.D. Vance. And I've heard him speak a couple times. He's fine, but it was 15 minutes and 27 seconds was the actual acceptance speech. That's as long as I've personally heard him speak. So we'll see what happens in his own debate. But he should not be doing sit-downs with a woman who's running for president that we know nothing about. We know nothing about her policies, anything. She hasn't outlined anything. She said 3 things at that fucking speech.
Yeah, and it's not a great look in general, but I think, man, this is like they keep testing people's on the left's patience with this bullshit. I think, like there are the hardcore 20% of Democrats who are going to vote blue no matter what happens, like anything.
Yeah.
Gender reassignment, all that, for kids, all that stuff. Doesn't matter. But there's a lot of reasonable people that vote Democrat, too. And it's like you're tiptoeing through the house when somebody's sleeping and you don't want to wake them up. But they keep knocking shit off of the fucking counters, man. Like, you got to play the fucking political game. And hiding people isn't it. They got away with it with Biden because of the COVID shit, and because they cheated and stole the election. And maybe that's their plan this time. But every little fucking stupid thing like this that makes people challenge their assumptions about her and everything that's going on in the Democratic Party is another opportunity for somebody to wake up and be like, oh, man, that doesn't smell right. And maybe they vote for RFK. Maybe they don't vote at all. Unlikely they're going to come out in droves for Trump or anything like that. But people don't vote all the time in elections. I mean, people choose late in the game to not vote all the time.
For sure.
I don't know. It just seems like
sometimes it's based on what you're doing for that day. We're just like, all right, cool, man. I just can't get there in time. I got shit to do today or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, I mean, motivation is a big problem.
Yeah, not me, obviously. But I'm really curious to see how this shakes out, just to see the two of them together, who answers what questions and why. And then with Dana Bash, how do you intro it? Because that's what I always think. You know, obviously we've done thousands of episodes of podcasting and all that stuff. How do you intro it?
Do you leave it? Do you touch on the issue that she hasn't done an interview in 40 days?
That's what I would do.
You know what I mean?
Thank you, Madam Potential Vice President, for sitting down for the first time in 40 days to do a fucking interview. And also, why is he here? That's what I would ask.
Yeah. Who the fuck is this?
Yeah, if I was doing that interview, I'd be like, great. Look, you're running for president.
Can you imagine going?
Why the fuck is he here?
Can you imagine going? I mean, I guess we can't imagine it because somebody made a movie about it. But going to a job interview and you got your buddy with you, it's like Step Brothers, like shh, hush, hush your mouth.
Unless he's there to do sign language for people, and I don't really understand it. And then they're going to push this out and be like, well, here's her first sit-down interview, and it was fair and honest. No, it was her and him, and then this dude. Because it's not like you could also, let's say the interview's an hour. It's not like he can be silent just sitting there for an hour either.
That would be really funny. That would be the funniest version. Now, I think Trump and Vance did a side-by-side interview together with, was it like Brett Baer or somebody on Fox News? I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
Like a month ago, maybe? Yeah. It was right after they introduced him, but as the candidate.
And Vance? J.D. Vance, you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
You said
and
Pence.
they both, what?
You said Pence.
No, I said Vance.
Oh, okay.
They both spoke. It was like a 2-person interview with one reporter or whatever the fuck. So maybe that's what they're thinking. That, they did it, so we can get away with it too. We'll just say, we were just doing what they already did it. Like, if this is how fucking crazy people think. They have a built-in excuse for doing the cheating thing they're going to do. So they can just be like, they already did it. It's like, well, it's a completely different circumstance. Trump goes out for 90 minutes every fucking day.
So does he, by the way.
Yeah.
Vance is everywhere.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker, look, the two people who talk every goddamn day to everybody, this fucking guy, Vance will stop and talk to a reporter on a fucking tarmac.
Yeah, they both, anytime a reporter wants to speak, they'll speak to them.
They're all in.
It may not be cordial, right?
Yeah.
Trump might be like, give a one-liner, tell him to shut the fuck up and leave, but he's still like, he never doesn't talk to the press. So that's what they're going to try to say when people criticize them after the fact. Like Trump and Vance did a fucking side-by-side. You're just saying this because I'm a black woman.
Right. For Vance, though, I saw him 3 weeks before on every single fucking network before he was chosen.
Yeah.
Over and over again on every left network doing interviews. Trump is always doing interviews. The two of these motherfuckers are always doing interviews everywhere. So, I don't really get it. And we know the fucking plan. Obviously, they're just trying to run out the clock, and hopefully people just joy and no policy and everything else.
Yeah.
But You're going to leave her on stage for 90 minutes here in 13 days. You might want to do some prep work of doing one of these on your own, or you're fucked.
Yeah, you would think so, yeah. But she doesn't, that's the problem. She doesn't actually believe anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that she doesn't even have well thought out policy positions. She doesn't believe in anything. She'll say whatever she has to say to get elected, including that she supports Trump's fucking border wall now, apparently.
Which is our next story here. So Kamala came out and said, we support the border wall. Trump campaign on Tuesday pushed back against a narrative within the media that Vice President Harris is taking a more positive approach to border wall construction, calling such a claim preposterous. How much longer will the mainstream media allow Kamala Harris to hide and use her staff to speak on her behalf? Carolyn Leavitt, National Press Secretary for the Trump campaign, said in a statement, it's day 37 of 0 interviews, and Kamala's anonymous campaign sources are now claiming she supports President Trump's border wall, which this is a preposterous and false claim, is what she says. Axios ran a headline on Tuesday morning that accused Harris of a flip-flop on the border wall construction. It noted Harris's support of a border security bill introduced in January. The bill pushes funding to the border while authorizing limits on asylum entries, which we talked about yesterday.
Sort of. It allows for 1.5 million illegals to come into the country every year is what it really does. Bob, click that first link from Colin Rugg on Twitter. This is just a brief timeline of Kamala Harris's different positions on the border.
And folks, on the subject of transnational gangs, let's be perfectly clear.
This is January 2019.
The president's medieval vanity project is not going to stop them. This issue is about a vanity project for this president. Right. And it is a problem of his own making. Right. And listen, when I travel this country, folks have plenty enough problems that they need their president to focus on, instead of a wall that, by the way, because I was a prosecutor for many years, including the Attorney General of California, I specialize on transnational criminal organizations. Yeah. That wall ain't gonna stop them. No. No.
That's a great edit. Oh my God, why is she laughing so hard?
On the subject,
okay, so that's
all she does.
That's her saying that, and now all of a sudden she's in favor of the border wall.
Well, it turns out immigration is actually pretty important in this election, and now she wants a fucking border wall here. 2 weeks ago, when Trump said no taxes on tips, for waiters and waitresses and bar staff and all that other stuff, she came out and said the same thing about 10 days later.
Then she copied Vance's $5,000 child tax credit, but we're going to do $6,000.
Yeah, we're going to, man, instead of 6 minute abs, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, we're going to go down until you're not even doing abs anymore.
It'll just be all inside. You're going to have a six pack. You don't have to do nothing.
Yeah. So she and Biden and Mayorkas have consistently backed this what they call a bipartisan border bill, which, by the way, can't get Republican votes. So it's not bipartisan.
It's not bipartisan.
Right? That's not what that word means. Her recent speech at the DNC said she would sign the bill, and they've kind of intimated that's a sign that she's turning hawkish on the border. It's like, no, she's just going to fucking say anything she can to get elected. I said this a month or two ago. She's Hillary 2.0. She doesn't believe in anything. But she wants to be in power, so she'll say anything and suck anything to get into power. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? She'll suck 60-year-old man dick, and she'll fucking say anything to get elected. She doesn't believe in anything. If you're a parent out there and you think you're getting a $6,000 child tax credit from this woman who just flipped on the biggest issue in this election, the border, right? Turned on a dime like that. You think she's going to fucking do it when she gets in office? You're out of your goddamn mind.
No, the other blind item that I read today goes back to something you said a couple weeks ago on this show, that she likes to fucking have a little sauce in the morning.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I've heard that from multiple people now, this blind item, and they're worried about it. Like, do you know something inside the White House that I don't?
Not in the White House.
She just boozes?
The Naval Observatory where she lives.
Really? Mm. No shit. What is she doing in the morning? A little mimosa? A little Irish coffee to get going?
It's not obvious. I'll say that.
Okay.
Right? It's not like she's fucking got a brown paper bag of fucking malt liquor in there. Like, fucking, let's get it started, boys.
But it would actually explain the laughter all the time, the weird, nervous laughter where you're just kind of, having a few drinks with the gals at the club, and you're like,
she's a woo girl. Woo!
Yeah. Woo! It's fucking party, man. Fucking party. I'd support that.
Yeah.
If she comes out in that interview with a bottle of fucking, Jack or whatever. And just
if it was like fruit punch Mad Dog.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some old school shit.
Room temperature, too. Not even chilled.
Steel Reserve.
Oh, my God.
In a brown paper bag. And she was like,
because she's black, and that's what black people do, right?
Yeah, let's wreck shit, dude. She goes the Edward 40 hands and just duct tapes 2 OEs to her fucking hands and just starts doing that the entire time. Yeah, I'd probably get people to vote for you. Or you could give away free ghost beds from our title sponsor, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Everyone would love a ghost bed. Everyone would love a brand new bedroom set with pillows, sheets, an adjustable base, and a cooling mattress on top of it. God damn it. People would love it. But they know you're not getting it, okay? You got to go through us. You got to get 50% off with the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. They've also got mattresses for RVs, weighted blankets. They got a new collection with Venus Williams. All of it is 50% off with the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. Also, when you check out, you're going to see a 3-year pay-as-you-go program. As long as you have decent credit, just check that box. Stretch that payment out over 3 years. You're looking at $45 a month for a brand new bedroom set. Money's not real. Put it on the card. You're good to go. Let's face it. You got a million other streaming services on there for the same fucking price. Sleep in comfort. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Promo code Drinkin Bros gets you 50% off all your items. Doesn't matter how many you put in the cart. Next up, Robin DiAngelo is a lying turd. In an accountability statement on her website, which makes repeated reference to her PhD, DiAngelo, 67, tells fellow white people that they should always cite and give credit to the work of BIPOC people who have informed your thinking. I don't know any of these fucking acronyms. I don't pay attention to this bullshit.
Guess what BIPOC means.
What is BIPOC?
Guess.
Black, Indian, people of color.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Indigenous and other people of color, yeah.
Is that her right there? Oh my God.
Yeah, she wrote this white fragility book, which is to say the premise begins with this is what CRT is. Call everything racist until you own it. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And then she's a useful idiot in this process because anybody that gets offended, if you're a white person, you get offended by being called racist, you're a double racist.
Yeah.
That just shows how racist you are. That's exactly what a racist would say, right? She's a fucking idiot. Obviously, University of Washington, Seattle University.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's a piece of shit. She just kind of monetized all the stupid bullshit that's going on in American culture right now. Just a complete piece of shit.
So the book is called White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism?
Yeah, and the general premise is that you just get if somebody calls you racist and you say no, it's not because you're a good person that's not racist, it's because you're just getting defensive because you know you're racist. That's the premise of the book.
Gotcha.
She's an absolute cunt. And, there's this statement on her credibility page that says it doesn't matter if it's just a few words. When you use a phrase or idea you got from a BIPOC person, credit them, right? Well, unfortunately for her, she's been plagiarizing black people for decades.
No way.
You don't shocking. Say. In her 2004 dissertation, Whiteness and Racial Dialogue, a Discourse Analysis, which if you work at a university and you are a PhD and you accepted this as a program, you're a fucking shitbag too. What a fucking dumb thing to even study. It lifts 2 complete paragraphs from an Asian American professor, Northeastern University's Thomas Nakayama.
Oh, play the music. Thank you.
Nakayama.
Pooyah!
And his co-author, Robert Krizik, which is just white dude. Without proper attribution, omitting quotation marks and in-text citations. She also lists material from Stacey Lee, another Asian American professor of education at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, so the main campus, in which Lee summarizes the work of a third scholar, David Theo Goldberg. The passage creates the impression that D'Angelo is providing her own summary of Goldberg rather than using Lee's language, and it is specific. It's very direct.
Yeah,
it's a carbon copy, and Peter Wood, who's a professor at, or the former provost of Boston University, which is a pretty good school.
BU's great.
Yeah, he says it's never appropriate to use the secondary source without acknowledging it, and even worse, to present it as one's own words. That's plagiarism, literally plagiarism.
Yeah, and in college, you had to have a works cited page with all of this shit. So.
And any professional writing you do as well. It's to say it's required is wrong, but to say it's expected is correct. And when it's not there, it's a fucking problem, right?
Well, that means you're using it as your own words.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be like a publisher putting this stuff out in the first place. Like the fact that her dissertation made it through, and by the way, this is 2004, right? I can't remember. Bob, do you remember the name of that website you can use to put your writing into to make sure you haven't incorrectly plagiarized something?
I have no idea.
Like I used it a lot throughout all of my
it was like a weprofessor.com.
It's something
like that.
It's like you can copy and paste or upload a Word doc to this website, and it checks to make sure you haven't plagiarized anybody, right? And if you're in a specific field of research like hers, it would check all the publications for it. That was a thing in 2004. It definitely existed because I used it. She made it through a PhD program, and her advisors nor the PhD board caught any of this stuff. You didn't fucking right-click and put it through one thing to see. It speaks very poorly of all of the education happening in Washington State, which that shouldn't surprise anybody. There are a bunch of fucking woke retards up there. But this complaint is well beyond just these 2 or 3 cases. There's dozens of cases in which D'Angelo, who rakes in about $1 million a year in speaking fees, passed off work of others as her own. They should sue her for this. It calls into question the key credential on which she built her career. She's relied on the notion that her therapeutic workshops, which can cost up to $40,000 each, and insists that all white people are racist, are backed by scholarly expertise. She's just a grifter.
Yeah.
She's a complete fucking fraud, which is what you should expect of somebody like this. You know what I mean? Look at her. She looks like a fucking piece of shit.
BIPOC Shakur here looks like every other woman, white woman, who does shit like this, where you're like, Jesus Christ, man. Is she married? Do we even know if she's married? Just looking at her, I'm going to say
if she is, it's going to be to somebody like Doug Emhoff.
It would be awesome if it was a black dude.
Some dude wearing fucking mom jeans, it'll be...
She is married, yes.
Okay, who's her husband?
Hold on, let me look. I mean, he's not anyone notable.
Well, read his name. If it's Darnell, then we have a pretty good idea, you know what I'm saying?
It's Jason, the hockey player pronounces it Taves.
Okay.
So he's a cracker.
He's a white.
Yeah.
He's a white man. He's a white man, Bob. Is what he is, dude. And I don't like that either. If you're gonna write a book called White Fragility, marry black then and really prove all of us wrong. Like I don't get it. Robin, marrying within your own white race. How white of you. How racist. Maybe she hates black dudes in bed, you know? Love to ask her that.
Too buku, maybe.
Maybe. But with this, yeah, dude, fuck. It's all just a grift at this point for this fucking bullshit. Who are the people in these classes, too? I'd love for those names to be released. Like, who is sitting at home going, man, you know what I really need this weekend is a retreat to a white fragility convention where this woman can preach in my fucking face about how awful I am and my ancestors.
So there's this HRC organization that and ESG as well that credit major corporations for sending their employees to stuff like this.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And by the way, another one got
Coca-Cola was the first one that got popped on that.
Yeah, Coca-Cola got popped, but Robbie Starbucks on a roll. He just popped Ford for it, and they retracted all of their DEI and CRT stuff.
Smart.
Like Ford. I mean, just in the last 3 weeks, it's been Ford, Harley Davidson, Jack Daniels.
Imagine
this dude's on a
sitting
fucking
in those
warpath.
fucking meetings, dude. Holy shit.
Well, imagine fucking putting your people in those meetings in the first place. You got to be some kind of limp dick little cuck to do shit like that.
God, that's wild to me. So what's happening with her currently? Any lawsuits or anything else?
I don't know. This just popped this week, so we'll see how it goes. But
man, if I'm those people, I fucking sue for sure. And yeah, you just can't get away with that shit in today's age at all.
It'll catch up to you eventually.
Yeah, there's nothing you can fucking do about it. Sorry about it. Next up, sponsor-wise, we got mybookie.com promo code Drinkin' Bros. Doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Week 1 of college football is here. Yeah. Be at the University of Illinois tonight. I bet on it. I bet on that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. It was 49. I bumped it down to 48.5. Get off the couch and get into the action today with mybookie.com and turn your love of sports into your new side hustle. Football's finally back. Look, I got kicked it up 0.5 point. I got Clemson with Georgia, so I got that at 14 plus 14 for Clemson. We'll be at that game on Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm all in on LSU minus 4.5 against USC. And then last but not least, one of my biggest bets of the weekend is BC at Florida State on Monday night, catching 16 points on mybookie.com right now. So it's plus 16 over there at BC, and looking forward to it, dude. I made some homer picks, so if you follow along the show on a daily basis, we also have another channel and a separate RSS feed called Drinkin' Bros Sports, where you can hear all of our picks and predictions every single week for college football, NFL. Derek Wolf is our new host, our co-host over there on the NFL show, and there's some picks where I tell people, hey, dude, you can look up all the bets on Facebook and Drinkin' Bros Sports that are homer picks that I don't release to anyone. I've got 4 this weekend that I'm not releasing to anyone. These are the ones I'll give you, but the other ones are in my own, where I'll sit in my own shame by myself, and take those L's if that's what happens. But look, it's week 1. Everybody except FSU has a shot at a national championship this year, so you're good. It's full of hope and positivity. Notre Dame is playing Texas A&M Saturday night. Ooh, can't fucking wait. Go to mybookie.com and in that promo code Drinkin' Bros to double that first deposit up to $1,000 and bet with us or against us. Next up, dolphin rape. Yeah. A sexually frustrated dolphin is accused of sexually assaulting and injuring 45 people in Osaka Bay, Japan. The bottlenose dolphin is accused of going on a multi-year rampage, sexually assaulting beachgoers about 200 miles west of Tokyo. The dolphin will reportedly bite people and rub its genitals on them if they get too close. Dolphins, when they are mating, can be very wild, said marine researcher Putu Mastika. Not even close with that name. Don't care. Researchers don't have definitive proof that all the attacks are from the same dolphin, but agree that it's likely the same dolphin. We have video of that, Bob? There we go. Right there.
I think we might have some audio of that as well.
No, I don't think we do. Definitely don't think we do here on YouTube today. It's reasonable to assume it's the same individual, as the wounds on the tail fin are similar to those of the dolphin seen off the coast last year. The dolphin could not be reached for comment.
No. But is that a dolphin hog right there?
That's a fake one. I wanted it to be real.
Yeah,
if that was real, that would be painful.
Here's a dolphin hog if you want.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see that dick.
Oh
boy, that's not
God
great.
Damn it! I was not expecting that. I didn't want to see that today.
Bob, search this phrase. Guns prevent dolphin rape. It's an old Article 15 shirt.
It is.
Just click on the images.
Let's see what we got on images up there.
It's the first one on the left. Maybe we should bring this back.
Holy shit. Remember Homeboy was wearing a meat pony the other day?
Yeah.
In here?
Yeah, this is a really old.
That's right.
This is from
Matt.
like 2015,
Matt
maybe.
Best, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, considering how Japanese people have treated dolphins over the years, I don't know who to root for here. Like in principle, I'm against sexual assault, but they've murdered millions of dolphins.
They have.
Just for sport, not even for any. It's like a. Hey, it's dolphin rape season or whatever the fuck. So we're gonna go out and cut some dolphin heads off with chainsaws.
Yeah, it's DR season.
Yeah. So I mean, oh, did somebody rip that shirt off?
Oh yeah, a bunch did.
No way.
Fucking damn it.
That happens to us all the time. That's really funny. But yeah, with this,
I mean,
you guys were the ones who told me that they slaughtered a bunch of fucking whales, right? Back in the day?
Soviets.
Yeah, and didn't Japan do the same thing?
Japan's always done it, but Japan, at least I guess to their credit, they use like every part of the dolphin and whale.
Especially the blowhole.
Yeah. But the Soviets were just doing it because they were like, I think we're supposed to do it or something.
Okay. So they were just killing them for sport?
There was a quota.
It was a line item error.
Yeah.
Okay. And with the dolphins, look, if this happened to their brethren out there in the sea, that's what they call them, the brethren of the sea.
They're smart.
Yeah.
Like, for real, dolphins are smart. So
might as well get off.
Yeah.
Do we know if they have an Asian fetish? Because that's a thing. I mean, except for Hunter Biden, obviously. He was, infamously saying
yellow. Yeah. I wonder if are there dolphins out there with slanted blowholes?
Could be. Could be some Japanese slants out there.
Go ahead and look into that, probably.
I like to think my dolphin would want something Asian occasionally.
You mean like Asian food, or to bang an Asian lady?
Yeah, to bang an Asian lady.
It doesn't, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the food is great.
Who can tell the difference between the men and the women over there?
But if you're out there in the sea, and you get a little bit of yellow, and then you kind of ease on down, and then maybe have some white occasionally.
I mean, they're pretty docile people, easy to rape.
The Asians?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're tiny.
Yeah, they're small people, so.
Are they raping dudes or just...
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
All
right.
Hole's a hole. As long as there's a little heat in there, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Got to put the camera on him for that. Yep. You can sit in that one.
I'll swim in it. I don't give a shit.
You'll go out to sea for that one. Oh, fuck, dude. Next up, why are Democrats trying to ban menthols?
Again with this bullshit.
God damn it. What's up with this, man?
I really don't understand it. So there's this conservative nonprofit group that's going to spend $10 million in the hopes of chipping away at Harris's key black voter support by criticizing the White House's proposal, which it postponed earlier this year already. We talked about it earlier this year. To ban menthols. Like, of all the things you could do right now, how is that even on your fucking radar?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I don't understand it. The new ad campaign is from Building America's Future and Americans for Consumer Protection. I don't know about the first group, but the second group tries to stop the government from banning things. I think they were involved in that New York soda tax bullshit where they tried to ban sugary drinks back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I don't drink that shit. I don't think you should either. It's poison. But the government has no right to tell you what the fuck you can put into your body.
Yeah.
The end.
They can raise the prices.
No.
Well,
they shouldn't be able to tax it.
New York's did. So
I know they did. They shouldn't be able to do that.
Because I was smoking back then. New York raised cigarettes to $15 a pack. That was in the mid 2000s there, and I was like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Yeah, it's fucked up. But they're running these ads in swing states: Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Wisconsin. Not sure how many black people were there, except for in Milwaukee. But digital advertising, SMS, text, even direct mailers like mail going to people's house. They're talking about menthol cigarette bans and some other stuff. One of the taglines is, instead of solving the problems that actually matter to you, Kamala Harris and the D.C. Democrats are coming after your menthol cigarettes. We've got bigger problems to deal with, and so do Democrats. The ad continues, and it mentions, it pops up a few headlines, one about the border crisis, one about fentanyl. There's fentanyl on our streets, and it's getting into our country because of the border issue, but they're trying to ban menthol cigarettes that are made right down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fentanyl, 85 to 100,000 deaths a year. That's cool, right? But if you want to fucking smoke a menthol, you got to go to jail, I guess. I don't know. So what does it tell you, I guess? Think about it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
They're waiting for the election to be over. So they postponed it again. It was postponed once before, early in the Biden administration, in 2021. He proposed it in 2021. It was postponed once, and it was postponed again earlier this year. So they're just trying. They're trying to wait until this election is over because the Democrats always want to govern you harder. They're a dominatrix style of government, and I say dominatrix because they're all bitches. They're all women, right? Anyways, as soon as this election's over, they're going to take those sweet menthols away from you.
Why?
I don't know.
Why menthol specifically?
Because it's the Democratic Party is racist. Gun legislation, right? The ban, the attacks on 2A began in the United States because white liberals didn't want black people to have guns. That's how it started. Planned Parenthood was started by a person who wanted to eliminate black people. Like, if we give them this ability, they'll fucking murder all their own people. We won't have to worry about them. Like, literally said that out loud in front of other people. It's always racism with them, no matter what they say or any kind of other bullshit. Look at what they've done to the black community over the last 40 or 50 years. Keep them on the tit, keep them on welfare, let them develop gangs and shit like that. Never, like, go out of your way to support a toxic culture there, give them no chance of upward mobility, but pretend you're doing that all the time. Right? Like, you're holding your hand out to give them a lift up, but there's like one of those little shock things in your palm. So every time they reach for it, they get shocked. That's the Democratic Party, and that's the way they'll always be.
Yeah, it's super strange, man, why it's just menthols. If it
Because
was
they're racist.
all cigarettes, I would understand.
They're racist. That's the only solution or the only explanation for this. So what's next? Like grape soda, malt liquor, and Carnival Cruise Lines? Like, what? Biden Harris don't give a fuck about black people. I know Kanye said Bush didn't, and he probably doesn't, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Biden and Harris definitely
Bush,
do not.
George Bush has saved more black lives than probably any world leader in history.
How?
PEPFAR.
AIDS.
The AIDS program he started at some point during his administration, I forget when, literally for no other reason than he thought it was the right thing to do. There was you don't even know about it. That's how little political capital it had. It saved up to 30 million lives in Africa by giving them just like cheap as fuck aid medication, basically.
He should fucking own it then. Why has he never said anything? This is the first time I've ever heard of it.
He's just off living his life. Like, it saved so many lives that even with the Iraq War and all this other shit or whatever, George Bush is like so far, I guess pun intended, sure, in the black on lives saved versus lives unnecessarily lost that it's crazy.
For like black people.
For anyone, but yeah, for black people in particular.
The war was a big one. We lost a lot of people in that, but I mean, for black people.
Uh,
how many people died in the Iraq War, Dan? Like total, like 1 million?
It's hard to say, including all the civilians and shit, yeah, but it wouldn't have been anywhere near 30 million.
Right.
Yeah. Well, good for George. If I'm him, that'd be the only thing that he has, right?
But that's all you hear
and the
about
first pitch
is FEMA's not good at responding to a hurricane, so he doesn't care about black people. Meanwhile,
Brownie.
for no fucking reason,
yeah,
other than literally, it was like this actually went viral like 6-7 months ago, maybe. About how it was like his super evangelical dude came up and was just like, "Sir, I think it's the right thing to do. We should do this, and it's like cost effective, blah blah." And he was like, because he's born again, he was like, "Yes, it is the right thing to do. Let's do it." And he did it, and it saved.
Okay. Well, George W. Bush does care about black people.
Look at that.
Biden Harris don't.
Okay.
Right. So if you're black, you should probably vote for somebody that actually, I don't know, delivered the best economy in the history of your people. The lowest unemployment rate in the history of black people in America, right? I guess the unemployment rate during slavery was probably 0. But that you weren't getting paid, so
you got something.
Like everybody had a job to do for sure.
Yeah, you got a hot
you weren't
meal.
Getting paid for it.
You got a hot meal.
But yeah, this is asinine nonsense, and the only explanation is it's NIMBY people, not in my backyard people, who are like, I don't smoke those. Let's ban them.
So
Fuck
bizarre.
black people. I mean, that's how they think. It's weird as shit.
And then kids at raves too,
Yeah.
It's a big rave cigarette there. You only buy them once for the rave, obviously. You don't smoke them on a daily basis. We all know that. But something you do take on a daily basis is these micro factors from firstform.com/drinking bros. Little pouch comes out, boom. It's got all the essential vitamins you need. Antioxidants, CoQ10s, multivitamins, EFAs, fruits and veggies, and the probiotics. 30 pouches in this little cardboard box. A little trapdoor shoots them right out to you every single day. and you're on your way. Let's face it, we all don't eat the way we need to on a daily basis or work out the way we need to on a daily basis to keep us healthy. However, it is important to get the proper minerals and vitamins inside of us. Also, they're a protein company, D'Anthony. You love First Form's protein. See the root beer jug sitting right there on your desk. What are you taking these days? What's your favorite flavor?
Red velvet
Okay.
cake. Like it's a chocolate flavor, but it's really good. That I've been mixing that with vanilla ice cream, I think it's called.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's about those are both level 1. Those are the meal replacement ones. So I take 2 scoops of that. It's about 48 grams of protein, a little bit of fat, a little bit of carbs. It's good.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Also love their liver detox. I take these on Mondays to get everything going. 4 at a time, by the way. I wish they had something for allergies. My fucking allergies, I know you're sniffling over there. My allergies this week have been fucking awful. I've never had allergies in my entire life until moving to Texas.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fucking ragweed and then rain and whatever else. So First Form, if you want to make some from the allergy shit, that'd be great as well. Big fan of all their products. Their energy drinks are bomb. Go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. Today, we're going to get free shipping on orders over $75. First Form is spelled with a 1. So it's 1stphorm.com/Drinkin Bros. Next up, leftists keeping RFK on the ballot against his will. This is a fun story. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will still appear on the ballot in Michigan and Wisconsin, despite suspending his presidential campaign, and could remain on the ballot in other critical battleground states, including Nevada and North Carolina. The former independent presidential candidate who suspended his 2024 bid on Friday and endorsed former President Donald Trump said he would take his name off the ballot in key states where he could hurt the Republicans' results. However, his request to escape has already backfired in at least 2 swing states that could decide the election. In Michigan, it's too late for him to be removed, and minor party candidates cannot withdraw, so his name will remain on the ballot in November election. Sherry Hardman, press secretary for Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, told Axios on Tuesday. The Natural Law Party held their convention to select electors for RFK Jr. They cannot meet at this point to select new electors since it's past the primary.
Which is, by the way, exactly what Kamala Harris did.
Right.
The primary season was completely over, and the electors just selected her.
That's it.
There was no vote.
They're like, here you go. This is your candidate.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
I don't know, Bob. Maybe you guys have covered this at some point, but probably not, because I think this is a novel thing. Has a candidate ever in the history of this country been forced to stay in an election they didn't want to be in?
It depends.
I've never even heard of anything like this.
I haven't either. It's very odd.
I mean, it's probably rare that somebody would file for the job and be a third-party candidate and then drop out afterwards.
Are the ballots printed this far in advance?
Yeah, I mean, early voting starts pretty soon, so they may have started that process. They have deadlines for stuff, for sure.
Okay.
But they didn't, like in Wisconsin, it wasn't a matter of policy. They voted 5-2 to keep him on the ballot. So the possibility of taking him off at his request was a real thing. They just chose not to do it. Okay. I don't know about Michigan if they printed or not. I don't know if they voted or not. But in Wisconsin, it was a 5-2 vote.
Gotcha.
To keep him on the ballot. And they're doing it on purpose. And now North Carolina is looking into keeping him on as well.
Yeah, and again, we don't believe in polls around here, but if you do, Cook Political Reports does shift North Carolina toward Harris. So potentially it's a swing state?
Well, maybe. But when it said toward Harris, that means that she closed ground with Trump, and it's now on paper a pick-em, but he's going to win North Carolina.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Let's see. It says, despite the optimism and hype, President Biden was never able to keep this race in North Carolina close. By the time he dropped out of the race in late July, the president was trailing Trump by almost 7 points in the state of North Carolina. Today, however, the Tar Heel state looks more competitive than ever. All right. Competitive is...
That's code for Republicans are winning it.
Sure.
Because you can't say that, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, to what I was saying before about these things being close, a report from Politico last week shows that the Democratic firms that are doing polling right now are behind the scenes admitting that that the Democrats are kind of fucked, because in all of the, when they go into the crowd, like the poll is the poll, right? Mm-hmm. It says whatever the fuck they wanted to say, but when they answer specific questions about policy, Trump is leading on pretty much every one of them in all the battleground states. All the swing states, like immigration, economy, he's leading on all that stuff everywhere.
Well, we haven't heard from her about anything regarding policy, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess the only incident in U.S. history is Horace Greeley died kind of midway through the election process.
And he still, they didn't replace him, right?
They kind of did. So he died after the election, but before vote of electors. So he got no electoral votes. But he got a lot of the popular vote.
I see.
Okay. Interesting. So I guess the hopes and dreams, unless the ballots are already printed, which I highly doubt in Michigan, the hopes and dreams are, hey, people still love RFK, and they're just going to do it out of principle. And then because Michigan is supposedly going to be close.
If you love RFK and you've seen how he's been, so they spent upwards of $100 million across the country, the Democratic Party, trying to keep him off the fucking ballot in states. And now they're spending money to keep him on the ballot.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is what I was talking about in the lead-in story. At some point, the mind has to rebel to all of this. It's got to be like, wait, this isn't right. What you're doing is not right. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I agree with your policy or not. You're cheating, and it's not okay. Right? Maybe only 10 or 20% of people will think that way, and the rest won't. But this is probably what happened to Hillary. There was a groundswell of populism for Trump and all that stuff. But the way they fucked Bernie Sanders over, that's why Hillary lost that election. And I think that's why Kamala Harris is going to lose this one.
Because people were for RFK, they fucked him over, and then...
Yeah, you think those Bernie bros went out and voted for Hillary Clinton? No, they wrote Bernie's name in.
No. And I remember at the time, my editor was a big Bernie bro for Range 15, and Nick Palmisano and I were working with. We loved him, and when Bernie they ended up chucking him into the streets. I said, "Hey, what are you going to do now?" It was him and his wife, and they go, "We're not fucking voting."
Yeah.
And we're like, we're just not going out. So sorry.
So the center left people that like RFK are gonna not vote, and the people that like Trump are gonna vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Or the people that are reasonable, I guess, are gonna vote for Trump.
So very odd to see there. Is it only those two states, or is there more? I'm trying to look. Is there any more there?
North Carolina and Pennsylvania, I think.
RFK is going to be on the ballot in Pennsylvania? Because that would be a big deal.
I don't know if he's going to be on or not, but I think he's trying to get off, and they're trying to keep him on.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I understand. Ultimately, who would that decision fall with?
It would be the
Shapiro?
No, the election board that I think serves under the guidance of the Secretary of State.
Yeah, in most states, it's the Secretary of State.
Like they don't get to choose unanimously the Secretary of State, but there's a election governance board that sits under the Secretary of State that would vote on something like that typically.
Okay, gotcha. Well, be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for this next sponsor here, Sleep Remedy. It's our good friend Kirk Parsley. We miss you, buddy. Come on back here anytime. He actually helped me out with some real shit behind the scenes, dude. And big fan of Kirk.
Same. He's doing all my shit now.
He's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
So shout out to Kirk.
He's got me all tuned up.
Love him. Anyways, his product is great. It's called Sleep Remedy. Veteran-owned, America First company. Originally formulated for SEALs, Navy SEALs, obviously.
Yeah, not
right.
Like he doesn't have a veterinarian license, unfortunately.
But when you see a seal lying on the beach, they are very, very sleepy. So I would use it for both.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe you're just eating seals to get sleepy like they are.
Listening to seal.
Yeah.
Kissed by a Rose.
No, because he fumbled Heidi Klum. You can't take anything he says seriously.
Did he, or is she fucking crazy? I think she's crazy.
Either way, you deal with it.
He didn't want to go to the fucking Halloween parties anymore.
She's the hottest German since, I don't know, fucking Hitler probably. I couldn't think of any other Germans.
Me neither, off the top of my head. Originally formulated for Navy SEALs who were suffering from poor performance due to harmful sleep meds, improved recovery and performance via improving sleep quality. So he took the best ingredients, everything that was working. Somebody swiped him from my desk up here, and he said, all right, it's time for me to do this on my own and give them out. It's all safe and natural ingredients that work with your body to help enhance sleep quality. Go to docparsley.com and use the code DB to get the best sleep of your life with Sleep Remedy. Take 2 of these little guys right before you go night-night, and you're good to go. Again, that is docparsley.com, promo code DB for 10% off to get the best sleep of your life with Sleep Remedy, developed by military veteran and friend of the show, Kirk Parsley. Next up, Canada finally gets it right with something, dude. Up there, they got a McDonald's that reveals the largest burger ever made, the Big Arch, which I fucking love. Bob, pull this goddamn thing up on screen. After months of anticipation, McDonald's is finally introducing the Big Arch, the biggest burger to date. McDonald's first announced its plans to introduce the Big Arch at its annual investor meeting in December 2023 in response to overwhelming customer demand for heartier burgers that are both flavorful and affordable. They're launching in Canada first. Look at this goddamn thing. What's that at the bottom, Bob? I'm all in on this.
It's like crispy onions.
Yeah, dude, let's go.
How much does it weigh?
It looks like 2 quarter-pounders.
It is, correct. It is 2 quarter-pound patties, and then with all the fixins on it there.
I mean, all that shit is fucking pointless. Just give me take all that other crap off, including both of the pieces of bread, and replace every layer with meat.
No.
It's just 5 fucking patties.
No.
It's called a double down.
It is.
No, but that's chicken. Chicken's basically fucking pointless.
I want the Big Arch here. Look at that goddamn thing. Man, that looks delightful.
I'm just not interested in all the other shit.
I am.
If you give me
love
one,
it.
let's see. So meat for the bread, that's 2 more. That's 4 total. And then meat for the whatever that onion shit is, that's 5. And then meat for the toppings, that's 6.
Okay.
And then 2 more pieces of cheese, probably maybe 3.
You getting some crunch?
Then that's a meal.
I like that crunch in there at the bottom, dude, with the onions they've done.
Even like a pickle, man.
Yeah, pickle. I'll do pickles. Yeah, sure.
So it's got pickles on it.
Good electrolytes in pickles. I'm down with that.
So this is according to McDonald's. The satisfying burger comes from the familiar McDonald's flavors our fans know and love.
Oh, so it's just a fucking Big Mac sauce.
Hang on, with some unique new ingredients, including a tangy new burger sauce created for the Big Arch specifically.
Oh, God.
Man, I am bricked up.
Well, let's get one when we get
in Canada. It's not here yet. So they're launching it in Canada first.
Well, let's go to McDonald's and try to order one. And if they keep telling us no, we'll burn that place to the fucking ground.
Yeah, because it's obviously going to switch when it comes here. But right now, it's 2 quarter-pound, 100% Canadian beef patties, which, we've got better cows down here.
No, Alberta's got good beef.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 slices of cheese, crispy onions, like Delco said, pickles, lettuce, and that new tangy sauce I was bragging about. The Big Arch is designed to satisfy the biggest appetites. In Canada, the Big Arch meal with a drink and fries is going for $12.59 at its test locations in Ontario. That's about $9 in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fake money.
I'll do that. $9 for a huge ass meal like that? You're full all fucking day, dude.
They won't call it a quarter pounder though, right? It's in kilos.
Royale with cheese.
Yeah, what do you call that in kilos up there?
A quarter pounder with cheese in Europe is a fucking Royale with cheese.
Yeah.
I learned that
Pulp
from
Fiction.
John Travolta.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Maybe it's the Royal Arch. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. They're kind of what's the relationship with the?
So a half pound, which is what this is of beef, technically, would be almost a quarter of a kilogram. So quarter kilo.
I want
beef, dude.
I want a fucking half kilo minimum.
Yeah, same.
Right, of cocaine right now.
Yeah, in my
I don't give a
body.
fuck about this meat anymore. I'm
Same
thinking
here.
about cocaine. Chocaine, some people call it.
Chocaine. This thing rocks, dude. So, look, they're going to test it out in Canada before they bring it down to the United States. I guess they're saying, fuck it, let's kill them first.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't eat the onion stuff on the bottom because that's not real food. But everything else, I'll probably take a bite out of that.
I'm all in on that.
Probably not the bread. I don't know where they get their bread from. American bread is basically fucking poison. It's not good for you.
You're eating at McDonald's.
Yeah, but meat is meat, dude. I mean, it's going to have more sodium in it than meat that you get yourself, but it wouldn't be that bad.
No, I'm all in on all this, all the things there. The sauce is the only thing I question there. As I am used to the Big Mac sauce, I don't know about the new tangy sauce.
I think it's just like Thousand Island.
That's what Big Mac sauce
I could do that.
is.
I could do that. No, it's Thousand Island mixed with something else.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
there's like
just-
a hint of mayo or something in there.
That's Thousand Island.
It's not.
That's-
They've got their own secret sauce. It's a secret, Dan. You'll
It's
never know.
not. It's
It
not
is.
a
You'll
secret.
never
It's
fucking know.
Thousand.
Unless Trump gets in office and actually releases it to the public with the JFK files, we'll never fucking know what's in the secret sauce.
Well,
It's goddamn secret.
if we make RFK head of the FDA, some shit's gonna get weird around here.
I hope he's head of the CIA.
All right, make him head of everything.
That'd be the best. Be the fucking best. Let him go shirtless, walking around there, dude, just doing shit. All right, it's time for the Drinkin' Bro of the Week. You can submit your Drinkin' Bro of the Week at drinkinbros.com. We also got some fun merch over there. Bob, pull it up. The store is stocked up. As I was talking about with my bookie and our tailgate tomorrow night, college football season is here. We have a 3-year deal with the University of Illinois and Michigan as well. So we got some colors up there. And we're also heading to that Oregon game. I believe Charlie Kirk is our guest for that Oregon game up there. They're in the store right now. You can get some hoodies for game day. Our new hoodies, by the way, those new ones that are $49.99, those are my favorites. I bought like 4 of them the other day, and I fucking love those goddamn things. Shit, I don't know if I left it at my house for that flight. Damn it, man. I got to go back and grab it, but huge fan of those, dude. And shout out to Brandon because I love the new merch. Merch store is up and rocking, and you can submit for Drinkin' Bro of the Week on there. Comes in live right to our inbox. This one was submitted by Scott Castle from Texas, listener for 4 years. He's nominating Kirsten Castle. He says, deceased. I'd like to nominate my sister for Drinkin' Bro of the Week. Kirsten and her unborn baby were murdered August 4th, 2024. The killer was apprehended on a no bail bond in California. I love you and I miss you, sis. I'll see you again someday. Semper Fi. That's awful to hear. I'm sorry to hear that here. One more just came in right now before we get off air, so I'll read that. Drinkin' Bro submission, Dakota G from Texas. Another one from Texas. Listener for 1 year and wants to nominate Dan Holloway. Living. Says, you always give good advice, but get off the coke, man.
No. I won't. What are you, Stephen A. Smith? Stay off the weed. We've got another one of these sealed letters before we get out of here.
Oh, is that the candle wax
Yeah,
one?
from this lunatic. Hold on. He typed some stuff and then he wrote some stuff in pen as well.
He's going to put anthrax in there and we're going to die with it.
He says, Ross Patterson, you were right. I'm a man and I type because my handwriting is shit. I would like to nominate my buddy Mullum, Mullum, in quotations, alive, for Drinkin' Bro of the Week. He's been a friend for over 20 years, served in Iraq and Afghanistan as a Marine just to get home and become a firefighter. He is a devoted father to his kids and never afraid to help those around him. If it wasn't for his support through some rough times, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thanks to you, Dan, and the bullet shields, he means infantry people that actually do real work, for keeping me entertained at work for the past 5 years. I hope if you have to find a new studio, it can be just as great as the one you've already built for the bros. All right, I'm done bothering y'all with my weird letter hobby. A fan of the show, JW. P.S. Tell Dan when he's signing Hotel Bibles, he should promote the sequels as Mein Kampf. That's... Check out my new book.
I also think he's referring to us as the bullet shields.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
guys are.
Yeah.
You guys are. I'm, by the way, what's his name? Mullum?
JW. Oh, Mullum is the guy he gave Drinkin' Bro of the Week to.
I am a big fan of these letters. I haven't seen them in a very, very long time. I respect you. I was not making fun of you.
No, it's
I
fun.
actually respect you. I think it's fucking
funny, yeah.
awesome.
We got another one, Alexander and Grace Tassone maybe, from Georgia. It's a wedding invite. We're not coming.
No,
I don't
throw
care.
it to me. Let's see what they look like.
There's no picture. Look, I think we've told you about this. At a minimum, we expect a picture, if not a video of you guys having sex. I don't understand
reverse cowgirl.
I don't understand what the fuck this bullshit is.
Where is it?
Oh, exactly.
It's in
where's the video?
Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Okay.
That's not even easy to get to.
It's not.
No, I don't even know where that is. RSVP by 20 September 2024. This is my RSVP. You didn't send me nudes. We're not coming.
No. And that's the rules, guys. You send a video of reverse cowgirl, and because I don't want to see your face, I want to see the dude's face, and I want to be shot from the front of the bed so we can see her. And that's kind of it, or we don't even contemplate coming.
Bare minimum, major metropolitan city that's easy to get to.
Yeah, that if you're doing some destination stuff, then you got to do that. Plus,
it's out in the country. It's out in the country.
We just if
I think.
I'm not showing up to support people that I haven't seen fuck. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, sorry. And if you don't know Dan and I, after all these years, 9 years, we've been on the air now. Show some respect. We need to see you fuck live on camera, or we don't go.
And we can't get off, right?
No.
Like, this is going to keep me blocked up for 2 or 3 days now. You've actually cost me now.
Yeah, you actually owe him something, okay? So send that video to @Dan Holloway and @STJamesSTJames on Instagram. We'll review your sex video, and then we'll contemplate coming to your wedding.
Yep.
Okay? That's simple. That's simple. All right, we love you, kids. We appreciate you tuning in. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. Don't fuck me on the iTunes reviews, all right? I ask every goddamn show, and we're at like 7,400, 7,500. Just push it to 10K, and I'll shut the fuck up after that, I promise. Literally is all the advertisers care about. I just got another fucking email from them today, and I'm like, hey, dude, I'll keep saying it. I don't know what to do. Spotify is over 8,500, so get us there on iTunes, all right? Get us up to fucking 10K. We appreciate it. We love you. We'll see you at the tailgate tonight. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.